Hey, this is Savvy Nick here, and today we'll be running through the Linux Mint website and downloading Linux Mint. This is really for beginners, people who need to go ahead and understand some of the terms on the Linux Mint website and figure out what they're actually downloading. So if you want to download Linux Mint, you'll have to go to linuxmint.com. Go ahead and type that into your browser and go there. And what you'll see is, well, currently what you'll see is the different editions that they have of Linux Mint. They currently have 3 different desktop environments: the Cinnamon environment, the Mate environment, and the Xface environment. We'll go ahead, well, I like to use the more sleek, modern, innovative is what they say here, Linux Mint 19.1 Cinnamon edition. If you want to learn more about these, you can go ahead and click through and kind of figure out what you like the best. Cinnamon is kind of, like they say, more modern. Mate is really just the kind of the classical Linux setup, and then you have Xface, which is just the minimal setup. So what we'll do at this point is go ahead and go to the download section. So we're going to hit download up here. What you'll see first is download Linux Mint 19.1 Tessa. That's because it's the latest version of Linux Mint. If we look down here, we have download links. But what we want is actually all of the versions. So we'll go scroll back up, hit all versions, and we can kind of look through all of this terminology here and what it exactly means. So you have the version numbers as well as the code names for these version numbers. So Tessa also means 19.1, or Sylvia means 18.3. And then you have a package base, which means the package that they built on top of from Ubuntu. Since Linux Mint is actually based on the Ubuntu package, they kind of just take Ubuntu and then build on it and make it a little simpler and better to use for beginners. Then you see long-term support release, LTS. That's what that means, long-term support. That just means that this specific version is going to be supported until April 2023. So if you look, the 19s are until 2023 and the 18s are until 2021. Then you also have documentation as well as buying a CD. You can buy a CD that already has an ISO put on it, and then you can go ahead and directly install that to your computer if that makes things easier for you. What we're going to do is go ahead and install the latest and greatest, which is 19.1. So now you get some choices. You have 32-bit versus 64-bit. You'll know this by the type of processor that you have on the computer that you're trying to install Linux Mint on. It's either going to be a 64-bit processor or a 32-bit processor. And you should reference your processor in order to figure this out. And then you have the different desktop environments: Cinnamon, Mate, Xface. I like to call that Xface, but it's really XFCE. And I like the modern, sleek looking one, so we'll just go ahead and do Cinnamon 64-bit, since I have a 64-bit processor on the computer I'm trying to install on. Once we click that, it's going to take us to another page that tells us the specific information about this version. So Linux Mint 19.1, codename Tessa, desktop Cinnamon, and it's a 64-bit version of the ISO. And we'll go ahead and scroll down, and then we get to select a mirror. So since I'm in the USA, I'll go ahead and select one. Just use Harvard School of Engineering, why not? And you can see now we have a download going. So in about 20 minutes here, I'll have a image of Linux Mint. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, go ahead, like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what other types of software videos you'd like to see. I'd be glad to make them. I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll catch you on another video.